OCO. Welcome back to Muskogee Life. Today we're in my studio at my workbench and we will be having fun making this copper bracelet right here. It's hammered. It's a cuff. It's nice and sturdy. It's wide. It's a really nice little bracelet. A lot of people like wearing these. And so this is what we're going to be making today. And what we're going to be using to make this bracelet will be some copper pipe. You can get this anywhere, just off the side of the road, or a neighbor gives it to you, or you might be able to purchase some at the big box stores. And we'll be using a chasing hammer, the ball peen side. We'll be using a ball peen hammer. It's a little heavier. We might be able to get some bigger hammer marks. We'll be using a rawhide mallet, an oval bracelet mandrel, my steel block right here, and let's get to it. Okay, I've cleared my space a little bit here, and my copper tubing has already been annealed, and these three pieces have been brushed with a brass brush. This is what it looked like after it had been annealed. It's got all that soot and stuff on there. We want to scrape that off, so I just want to show you. So we will be moving these away, and we are going to start with this medium-sized one. I have cut this at 7 inches, and it's a pretty heavy wall interior. This one is a type M, and the wall is narrower, so it's going to be easier to hammer this one. This one right here is a little thicker, and it's going to be a heavy-duty bracelet when it's done. Okay, so we are going to start with this one. We're going to just lay it on the block and put our earmuffs on. We've got to do that. It gets kind of noisy in here otherwise. And then we're going to use our ball peen right here to start in on hammering. We're just going to go straight in the middle and do the other end. And I can't hold it. Right back out, it's getting a little wobbly on me. I'm going to just keep on hammering. Now, if you could see all this soot coming out of the inside of the, because we did not put it in the pickle to get all that out of there. We'll vacuum that up in a minute. This one's about ready to be annealed again. Getting pretty tough where I can't even hammer on it. So let's set this one aside and work on our smaller one right here. And we're going to do the same thing with it. So let me clean this up. Alright, I've cleaned all the soot up, and I got out our smaller 1/4 inch pipe, and we're going to do the same thing with it. We're going to go ahead and hammer that thing flat with the ball peen end. See if we need to get any of the soot out of this one. Nope, no soot in this one. Flatten it out with a rawhide hammer. Make sure it's staying straight. On each side, pound it down a little bit. Keep it straight. It's looking really good. I think I could continue with this one right now. I'm going to go with this smaller ball peen on my chasing hammer. I'm going to use a smaller hammer mark. Turn it around, do the other side. Put our rubber mallet. Hammer it flat again. Make sure it's staying kind of on the straight side. Let's look at that. It's kind of hard to see with all the light glaring on it, but we've got quite a bit of hammering going. I think I'm going to try to go along the edges, trying to get a little more flat, and then it'll probably be ready to be annealed again. So I'm using my bigger hammer to go back just along the edges, trying to flatten that edge out a little bit. It's looking really good. Let's go with our smaller one again, and just go on the side of the bracelet, both sides. Put some hammer marks in there, makes it look more finished. Turn it around to the other end. There we go. I'm going to anneal this one and this one, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so we've got our two pieces annealed and brushed with a brass brush to get them all cleaned up. And before we start hardening this metal, we need to stamp them with my hallmark. I've got this. It's got my name on it. Put it right here and give it one good whack. I'm never very good at doing this part. I always mess it up. Of course I missed. I always stamp it twice. Just my way. There we go. Stamp it down here on this one. Stamp it down here on this one. Alright. So let's start with this one to get this one ready to finish up its decorations. So we're going to use the small ball peen and put a lot of little bitty hammer marks in here. And we're just going to go up and down this with the little hammer marks, making sure we're hitting the side. Turn it around, do the other end. Let's hammer that straight again. There we go, a little flat. Looks really good, nice and hammered. We could do a little more hammering right through there. Okay, let's flatten it out. Make sure it's straight. Making sure it's straight, we just lay it on the side and tap it on both sides to make sure it lays down properly. Alright. So that one's good to go. Before we go to the next stage, let's work on this one. This one got hard on us real fast because it's very thick. It's a very thick copper pipe. And I don't know how far we're going to go on this one. I think we're going to bring out the big ball peen for it. It's a little heavier. I don't know what weight it is, but it's definitely heavier than this one. Turn it over and hammer it with the rawhide to flatten it out a little more. Let's see what we have here. Well, that's kind of an interesting texture. So let's go on with our medium-sized ball peen. Just go down along the center. There we go, it's starting to look good. a couple of spots right there. Ouch. Just flatten it out. It's getting hard on me again. This one will definitely have to be re-annealed. Let's see how much we can get hammered in. Starting to look good. Starting to look like a hammered thing. Let's look at this one again. We need to do the sides again on this one, just a little bit. And we'll do the sides on this one, right here. We're going to take our little chasing hammer with the ball peen on it. We're just going to do the sides. We're going to do those last couple of inches on the little one. Alright, now let's do the sides on this one. Flip it over, do the other side. Get the ends done. Alright, so we've got our sides done right here. This one looks like it used a little more right there. And then we need to do with this hammer just along this little bitty edge right through there on both sides. Let me flatten this out a little more. Yeah, that looks good. And then we're going to do right along this edge with the smaller ball peen. And by that time, it'll be so hard, we'll have to anneal it. Let's see if I get this in there. There we go. See, I think that looks better. It's not quite so rounded and bowed. I'm going to try it one more time. Alright, that looks really good. This one has to be re-annealed, and let me go do that, and we'll be right back. Okay, we've got this one re-annealed, and we have cleaned it with the brass brush and maybe a little bit of steel wool to get all the soot off of it. And we just want to finish putting some small hammer marks on there. There's a few places that it looks a little on the thin side for hammer marks. And then this one and our smaller one will both be ready to form the ends and then shape it. So let's get going with our hammer. So check our sides, they look good. We just want to go along. Put some more hammer marks. Okay. See a spot right there. Let's look at it. Looks pretty good. I see a spot right there. I want to put a mark. Alrighty, let's turn it over and use the mallet. Flatten it out a little bit. Okay, so now both our pieces are hammered. Their sides are done. They're both stamped with my hallmark. And they look pretty good. We just need to round and file the ends. And I have these monster cutters that I'm going to use, and I'm going to snip the corners off, a little angle. It'll help curve the ends when we go to file. Oh, but that was a little crooked. Alright, so we got that one. Let's do this one. Okay, now see this little, you can see this right here, but the back side has come up and it's over the top. So we need to get rid of this little edge right here. And I have got these heart metal shears. They're made for cutting heavy metals. We're not cutting through both layers, we're just cutting through that little back layer and trimming that piece off. It just makes it easier when we go to file. we don't have to remove all that extra with the file. Okay. Alright, so we've got that done. And our next thing to do is we have our file. I don't know if it's a particular size or not. It's from Nicholson, made in Mexico. But anyway, this is what I'm using, and I'm going to file my end pieces. I'll file them round. Let's do the other end. More round than the other. Not much I can do about that. Okay. I think it's fine. Okay, there's that one. Let's do this one. We almost have that piece even. Now after we've folded this and formed it, this back piece is going to slide up again, so we'll have to come back and sand that top piece down again. But we might as well get the majority of it off now. Okay, there we go. Both ends are done. And let me clean up my mess here and set up for the mandrel, and then we can do our folding. Be right back. Okay, we've got our mandrel anchored to our anvil so that you can see it. And then we have our two pieces right here. And let me move this out of the way, and maybe you can get a better view of what we're doing. At least it's not. So we're going to start with our small one right here, and we start by forming it at the small end, and we're just going to hammer the very first part, and then we'll turn it around and do the other side. So at the moment, this is what we've got. It's just a big old C. And now we're going to work to get these closer together. And sometimes it'll twist on you. I'll just twist it back. Try to get it back up here. This is my center line I've marked on there. And we're just going to work it out. Shape it till we get something pleasing. It's not quite pleasing enough. Let's keep going. Get it set up here and hold it from the bottom. It's getting there. And now we have to bring it back in because we spread it out a little bit. Let's do this side. Okay. Now we've got it looking like this. It's a little misshapen, but the edges are closer together. Let's bring it right there. See if we can form it a little better. Right there. Go around the base of it. Turn it over. Do the same thing. There we go. Starting to look like a bracelet again. And let's push it up. Let's just push it up. Try to get a better size on it. We want about an inch, maybe an inch and a quarter right between the two. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, it looks perfect. See? Put it right back to there. flip it around so that we don't get that taper going. See what it looks like now. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Still got that funky taper. Like a little bend in there. I'm not liking that little bend. Okay, I think it looks pretty good. I'll want some more. Make myself feel better. Yep, perfect. Make sure our anvil and everything's still anchored. Okay, this one's going to be a little tougher. It's a bigger piece. It'll probably disform it on us a little more because it's wider. Okay, we've started that right there. Turn it around to this side. Push it all the way to the top. Let's see if we can get it formed. The top of it formed nicely. That's good. Let's do this way. It's looking good. Starting to look like a cuff bracelet. Turn it around this way. Let's see. We want it this way. I want it to go this direction. There we go. Now I can see what I'm doing. Know where your fingers are. Good thing it wasn't a heavy hammer. Looks good right there. Twist it back in place. This is smaller on this side than this side, so we need to work on this side up here at the top. It's getting there. Getting there, getting there. Bring it down. About right there. Turn that around. Go up this way. Do that again. Twist it back a little bit. It's starting to get hard on me. Whew. It's slowly going. It is a slow going. Around. Yep. I can get it on and off just fine. Let's see if we can refine that just a smidgen. Yep. Okay. It's got a little misshapen curve right here. Just going to do that right there. And we're going to turn it around and do this way. That looks good. I'm going to call that done. All right. So let me reset my booth by taking this thing off, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've cleared my space, and now we need to work on resanding and filing these ends right here to get them smooth so it won't scratch anybody. And you hear my dog Tara tick-tacking around on her with her little claws. So I'm going to start on this one, and it's, I don't know if you can see that or not. It's right in here. There's a nice little ridge where the back piece has formed and pulled itself out on both sides, right there. It's just normal. So now I'm going to trim this with the scissors. We're going to come back with the file, and we're going to do it again. kind of hard to hold this thing. Looks like I'm gouging my little mat. I think we got the majority of that one taken off. This one probably could use a couple extra swipes. I can still feel it. I like to bevel the edge just the tiniest bit. And that one looks good. And that one looks good. Okay, let's look at this one. This one doesn't have much of a lip, just this tiny little bit right there. It looks really good. Alright. So we've got these two ready to go. Now we're just going to use the sander, my tin sander, little Orby here. Or what is this? It's a Dremel. And I have got a 220 sanding wheel on here. It's a silicone, and we're going to go around these little parts right here. Not feeling anything? Well, this one does. A little bit of something right there. Feels good. Alright. That looks good. Let's do this one. And this one's got a couple little marks on here. I'll try to take out those marks while we're at it. Okay, so we've got these right here, and they, I don't know if you can see it, still the tiniest little crack right there from where the tube has been hammered, and it's the slightest little one. I'm going to try to close that up by putting it on my tiny little anvil and hammering just on that edge. Gonna make noise, Tara, to tell my dog to make, I'm making noise, and she'll leave the room. And besides doing this, to close that up, it will help to give the end piece a little more finish. We'll hammer around the corners, give a little more finished piece right there. Let's do this again on this side, and hammer it right there. If anything, it'll help disguise the crack. Alright, that one looks good. Let's see what this one looks like. This looks pretty good, although we need to hammer on the edge of that, just to make it look more finished. Like that little point right there. See if I can hammer that down. Sometimes if you have a point, you could always smear it around with the hammer. It'll knock it down. Alright, so we have that done. And now we're going to start sanding these a little bit. We're going to start with a 400 grit sandpaper, and then we'll work our way up to different sizes. Let me get in here and change this. I'll be right back with you. Do the inside one more time. Okay, let's go to this one. We'll start on the inside of this one. right, so we've got these sanded with the first 400 grit sandpaper. They feel pretty good. They look really good. We're going to go over that again one more time, but we're going to use a, maybe I'll do the 800 grit. Feel better with an 800 grit. Okay, we'll change this thing around. And I'm going to go to town. Do an 800. I think that'll probably do us, and then we can put it in the tumbler. There's that one. Let's get to this one. Feels nice and soft already. Get the inside. That looks really good. Okay, our bracelets are now polished well enough to go into the tumbler, and that's going to polish them even more. And they've got good hammer marks on them. The insides are nice and smooth. So I will get back with you when they've come out of the tumbler. We will be patinaing at least one of them. All right, see you in a little bit. All right, I was setting up to patina these two hammered copper bracelets that we have been working on, and I decided I am not going to patina these two particular bracelets. I have plenty hammered patina bracelets, so, and people like the shiny on it. Here's one that is patinaed. I'm going to bring it up here, and you can see the slight difference. This one's shiny, this one's got a darker tone to it. And so I am going to put these three bracelets into the tumbler, and we will be back in a few minutes. Okay, our hammered copper bracelets are out of the tumbler. They look gorgeous. And the smaller one here. And then our patinaed one shows a little more depth with the hammer dimples going on there. They just turned out lovely. That's what it looks like on. Of course, it's a little big on me. It turned out lovely. Alright, so we have three new copper hand-hammered cuff bracelets. So we'll see you next time at Muskogee Life in the studio at the workbench. Well, dope.